Hi everyone, it's so nice to see you again. In today's episode, I'm going to take you along to Bonhams for their upcoming auction, the Dunrobin Attic Sale. I'll also be giving you a tour of my china closet here at home and sharing some of my favourite pieces. Finally, I'm going to show you how I age terracotta pots using chalk paint. I hope you enjoy the episode. Early this week, I was invited to Bonhams Auction House here in Edinburgh to take a look at their upcoming sale, which is the Dunrobin Attic Sale. Now this is particularly exciting because Dunrobin is a very famous house here in Scotland and in the UK, so for them to be selling some of their items is a real rare and special treat. Bonhams invited me along to take a look at some of the items and to set my own table for lunch, which was really exciting, and I think you will love some of the items that I chose. So come along with me now and I'll show you exactly how it went. Dunrobin is one of Scotland's finest landmarks. Home to the Dukes of Sutherland, it has been an inhabited castle since the early 1300s. Dunrobin has decided to have a clear out of its attics, which have been filled with a trove of treasures for decades. It's always good to have a spring clean. I was in my element being able to look through the hundreds of items that are coming up for auction and create a table setting. I decided to choose a smaller table for an intimate lunch. I've chosen this pretty set of Sutherland dinnerware, which are embellished with the Sutherland cipher. I think they are so elegant and timeless. I'm adding my own monogram napkins to personalise the setting and show you how you can use the items you already have and mix them with antiques. I love this set of flatware which brings out the gold of the rest of the setting. I chose these unusual finger bowls because they're not something I would usually use in my settings, and it's always good to try new things. I also love this tureen which is adorned with fruit and is the perfect centrepiece to my table. Finally, I'm adding some flowers, which are always essential, plus a touch of silver to provide a dash of elegance to the whole setting. I hope that you enjoyed taking a look at some of the items that are available at the Dunrobin sale, and if you would like more information about the upcoming auction, I will put a link in the description here so that you can do so. Now, on the subject of china and beautiful things, I've had quite a lot of requests to see what I have at home with regards to china and teaware. So today, I thought that I would give you a tour of my china closet. I say china closet, but really it's just a tiny cupboard, but calling it a china closet just makes me feel a little bit more special and makes it a lot more fun. So come along and I'll show you through some of the items that I have. So I've tried a few ways to film this, but I think that the best way is for me to just hold the camera and walk through everything, because I tried to use the tripod and you can't really fit me and the cupboard in, so this is the best way. So I'm going to start here with this little silverware. We have here a teapot, a coffee pot, and then we've got 2 gravy jugs, and here we have a sugar bowl and a milk jug, and also these little tongs which have got a little, you can't see, a little G engraved on them. So someone called G owned these, which I think is quite fun. So I got this set about 6 years ago when I lived in the bigger house on the East Coast, and it is a fun set and I think it's very beautiful, but I hardly ever use it because It's just, I prefer something a bit more less formal, and as you can see I like lots of things with flowers and more pretty things, but I do like to use this from time to time because guests really enjoy it, and also because it's metal. When you pour tea or coffee in the tea or coffee pots, the water and the drinks stay hot for a lot longer, so it can be useful. Also, I've got this little serving platter which you probably saw in my Mother's Day video when I served the porridge in there. So that is the silverware. So one of the things I like to collect are salt and pepper shakers. So I have these little artichoke ones which are from ochre, and then I've got these which are chestnuts. These also are from ochre. I think that's really sweet, and it comes in a little basket which is quite cute. And then I've got these silver ones that go with the silver set. Then here I've got this little basket with some napkin rings, which I don't really use very often. I love rattan, so I have these, and also tortoiseshell. I think these were from Zara. I bought these in Dubai when I lived in a villa in Dubai in 2016, and I used to have lots of outdoor parties, so they were very useful. More rattan, I have these rattan votive holders, which look really, really nice when you put them together with all the other rattan items. These were from a local organic shop near Edinburgh. Now these are the newest thing that I have, and I really, really love them, and they were a gift from someone who watches me on YouTube, so thank you so much to you. That's very, very sweet. And these are Javiland Ramekin dishes, and I just think they're so pretty and cute with this little pink and green, which are two of my favorite colors. And then they come with these little saucers, and I use these all the time since I've had them. They're so useful. You can put candles on them, you can put them next to the bed and put a glass on them, or you can put, you can use them as trinket dishes, but I think they're really sweet. So it was a very kind lady who sent those to me. So here we've got most of the teaware, and I do have a few different collections of things, and I also have the dinner plates and bowls that go with them, but because this is more of a tea cupboard where I serve on the round table in my living room, I keep all the bigger plates in the kitchen and all of the tea things in here. So here I have the Wedgewood set, which is all of this. This was a Christmas gift in 2014, probably the first full set that I had. We've got here a sandwich plate, which is really useful. You can put finger sandwiches on here, or you can also put slices of cake. Yep, that is a Wedgewood. It's called Butterfly Bloom. We also have the teacups and saucers here. And I just think it's so delicate and pretty. I love this design. So pretty. The way the light hits it. So these are the tea saucers, and you can just tell how nice the quality is with this. The light reflects off it and just gives a beautiful sheen. So here is the Wedgewood Teapot, and this is probably the favourite one that I have here at home. I love this design that goes around like a band, and then you've got all of the different flowers, butterflies, just so pretty. And then the little bits of gold just give it a bit of a regal touch, so that if you're having a special tea, people feel really welcome, like you've thought about them. So yeah, I love the teapot. And then we have 4 cake plates. And the thing that I like about these is that the first plate matches everything else in the set, but then the other plates pick up different aspects of the design. So this one is different, and then if I can just put that there. We've got another one here, which also has the band that I just showed you on the teapot. And then the final one is more of the butterfly design. So I like that you get 4 different plates. I have these Royal Horticultural Society Royal Worcester teacups, and this is the very first set of teacups and teaware that I ever bought when I was 21. And I got these from a local garden centre, and I just thought they were so pretty. And so I have the teapot here, the sugar bowl and the milk jug. But 10 years later, the lid has been broken on the teapot and the sugar bowl. So I think you can get replacements for those, so I will look into doing that, because it's nice to have these, and I do sometimes mix and match because I think this is just really delicate and beautiful. So the last collection we have here on this shelf is this one, which is the one that a lot of people always ask me about, and this is from the Royal Collection Trust shop. So the royal family, whenever you visit their palaces when they're open to the public, they're in the gift shop, you will find beautiful items, and this is one of them. So this is a set of teaware based on a collection that was owned by the Queen Mother, and Prince Charles decided to commission a set to sell on their online store for people to buy that is similar to the Chelsea porcelain that she collected. So we have 2 teacups here, and then here we have the saucers, and then little tea plates. I love these. And then here we have some larger plates. So very green, very garden themed, perfect for the summertime. I don't have the teapot, but I do have this teapot, and I decided to use that with it because it's very similar and works well. And this was just from TK Maxx, so very cheap, inexpensive, but does the job. Okay, moving on up to the top shelf, we have here, this is a very famous set of porcelain called Eternal Bow, and a lot of people have this. You can find it in many charity shops in the UK, so that just tells you that a lot of people wanted to get rid of it. But this was a set owned by a family member of mine, and she sadly died a few years ago, and this was left to us. So even though it's probably not something that I really enjoy and don't really use very often because it's quite simple, it's very special. And actually, when you're having a large tea party, because she had so much of this stuff that, I mean, this is just half of it. There's millions of cups in the kitchen as well. This is good to use because it serves everyone. And I love this huge coffee pot here. So here we've just got some Royal Doulton coffee cups. And I just got this from a boot sale, and I thought, yep, I'll have that, because it's always nice to have white china to use. And these plates are quite pretty too. Now over here we have all of the glassware. Now I do love glassware, but as I'm only still relatively young, it's expensive, so I'm just buying bits as I can. I luckily have enough for a party, a little party, especially now that we're not allowed to have them. So again, back to the rattan. I really love these little rattan water glasses, and there we have a water jug. They go really well with the rattan here. Then I have some little glasses here, champagne glasses. Actually, champagne is one of my favourite things to drink, so this is useful to have champagne glasses. Okay, so right here in the back we have the wine decanters. Well, I think this is actually more of a whiskey decanter or something like that, but I hardly ever use that. But it's always nice to have it in the house. Here we have some more glasses. These are nice wine glasses, or sometimes you can use them as water glasses. And then at the back we've got these Waterford crystal cocktail glasses, which make the most beautiful sound. And they really shine in the light. Perfect for a fancy party. Here we've got some William Yard wine glasses, which are tortoiseshell. Well, they look like tortoiseshell, and I think they're really fun. And then just here we have some more little wine glasses. So that is all of the glassware and chinaware. Down here we have some more items. We have a little basket here with some candles and linens in. Another basket here. Here we have some table linen, some tablecloths. And I will confess that with bed linen, tablecloths, I always send them out to be laundered because this is a very small flat and there's nothing worse, I think, than having to wash things and then have them dry all over the house when you don't have a specific place for them to do that. So I find that it makes my life so much easier to send my laundry out to be washed. My car is electric, so I don't have to spend money on fuel. So for things like that, I justify the cost by just weighing the two things out, and it really does make life so much better. And then here we have some boxes. I like to keep boxes for certain things so that when I need to move or pack things away, they're very safely done. And then this is a special gift that I got from my sister a few Christmases ago. So this is the Royal Albert 100-year anniversary celebration, and it is a set of 10. So we have 5 in here and 5 in there, and this is a teacup from every decade, which I think is pretty special. So you get a teacup for each, and then also you have all of the tea saucers in here. So this week over on my Instagram account, I shared with you how I age my terracotta pots. I really don't like these bright orange pots, and I much prefer antique or old looking ones with like a mossy aged effect. So I always like to take these ones, which are very inexpensive, and turn them into something like this, which you actually pay quite a lot of money for online and in retail stores. So I just think that if there's a way to do it yourself, you know me, I like to do it that way. So I'm going to share with you how I age my pots and just how simple it is to do with a bit of chalk paint. So to do this, you'll only need 3 things. You'll need some chalk paint in white, which you need to water down quite a lot so it's like the consistency of milk. I'll provide all the links for everything in the description of the video. Then you'll need some green paint. This provides the mossy look. And finally, some dark wax, which just makes everything look a little bit earthy, muddy, and gives it an aged appearance. So that is it, three products to give yourself a nice aged pot. So now I'm going to show you exactly the process. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the watered down chalk paint and load the brush, but then we want to rub it onto the paper so that we get most of it off, and we're going to work in sections just by putting it on and then with a cloth immediately rubbing it through. And as you can see, this instantly gives it like a limed effect that you would find on an older pot. So that is the first step, and we're going to continue this until we have covered the whole pot. And I would suggest that you work messily so that when you're rubbing it through, it doesn't look too uniform and it looks more natural. So yeah, you can see already it's starting to look, you're getting rid of the orange, it's starting to look more of a natural limed finish. So you can already see the difference here. It's already looking a lot more subtle. You compare it to this side, very orange, and here more limed. And we're almost at the end. So here we go. So that is the whole pot completely whitewashed. We've left the inside natural, so you can really see the difference between the inside and the outside, and just how much of a difference it just takes away all of that brightness and makes it look instantly aged. So the next process is we're going to take more of the white paint and we are going to literally dab it along the bottom quarter of the pot. And that gives it it makes it look like water has been gathering in the bottom of the pot. Clay pots are very porous, so they absorb a lot of water, and over time you will get like a limed crust around the third quarter. So that is what we're going to do now. You do not need to wait for this to dry, it's completely dry already, so now we're just going to go ahead and do the next part. So what we're going to do is add a band of white paint along this bottom quarter. We're going to use the paint that hasn't been diluted down, and we are just going to dab it on like this. It doesn't have to be neat. In fact, the more disheveled it looks, is the better it will turn out. So we're just dabbing on, uneven. A little bit more. Okay, good. Now, while the paint is still wet, we do not need to wait for it to dry. We're going to take the green paint and we're going to do exactly the same thing over the top of the white. So it doesn't need to be dry, we want it to mix together nicely, look more natural, so let's do that. By the way, this is probably too bright. I'm going to recommend a different one for you to use. I didn't realise this was so bright, but it still works pretty much okay. So I'm just going to take this a little bit off and then exactly the same thing, dab it through. And what you want to try to do is leave a little bit of an edge of white on the bottom, because that is how a natural pot would look. It's very, very simple. You don't need to be an artist. Just dab, 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 dab. You also want to try to leave a little bit of the white coming through here, because again, that is how it would look naturally. So now we have done this, we're going to wait for it to dry, and then we're going to apply the dark wax over this section to muddy it down a little bit, and then over the rest of the pot to give it a bit of an aged look. So I waited about 3 minutes for the green to dry, and then I took the cloth, put it into the dark wax, and I'm rubbing it through so that we can get rid of this bright green and make it look more of a natural finish. So it's simply just, sometimes you need to wipe it off, and we're just going to rub it through, really dragging it across, get this nice dappled effect. And ages the pot. And it's that simple. I would suggest keep working through, take your time, and it will look a lot better for that. And also, don't be too precious about it. The more carefree you are, I think the more natural it looks, and the better the result will be. And there you have it, your instantly aged terracotta pot. Now I know that there are other ways to age a pot. There is a method of rubbing yogurt over the pot, leaving it outside, and over the course of a few weeks it starts to go mouldy and age. But I did not want to wait a few weeks, I wanted instant gratification, so this is what we have. And I think this is a very effective way, so hopefully it was useful. The paint dries very quickly, it's not hard or complicated, you don't have to be an artist, and there we go. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this week's episode. For me, it was real fun to film, so I hope that you enjoyed it too. Now, I will see you next week, but until then, have a really great weekend and a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.